Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where cruelty often makes the loudest noise. We see it in the news, on our streets, sometimes even in our own homes. Harsh words and division seem to be everywhere. And yet, despite all this, there is a light that never fades. Kindness is not weakness. It is not naive. It is the quiet strength that allows us to remain human when everything around us pushes us to be hard, cold, and distant. It is the gentle voice that says, "I understand." It is the hand that reaches out, not because it must, but because it chooses to. Sometimes, the smallest gesture changes a person's entire day. A smile to a stranger. Forgiving someone who has wronged you. Offering encouragement when another feels invisible. These acts cost us nothing, but to the person receiving them, they can mean everything. Kindness is also contagious. One simple act inspires another, and then another, until it forms a chain strong enough to hold a community together. Imagine the power of a world where we all chose to give a little more understanding, a little more compassion, a little more love. Yes, the world can be cruel, but cruelty only wins when we stop being kind. When we choose kindness, we are not only helping others, we are preserving the best part of ourselves. So, my friends, let us never underestimate the beauty of kindness. For in a cruel world, it is not cruelty that defines us, it is kindness that saves us. When we think of kindness, many people often confuse it with weakness. They believe that being gentle, forgiving, or compassionate means allowing others to take advantage of us. But the truth is, kindness requires a strength that cruelty can never match. It is easy to respond to anger with anger, to meet harshness with harshness. Anyone can raise their voice, anyone can lash out. That does not take courage. What takes courage is holding back when you could strike, offering understanding when you could judge, and showing compassion when the world tells you to turn away. Kindness is strength because it demands self-control. It demands patience. It demands that we see beyond our own emotions and recognize the struggles of someone else. Think of a person who lashes out in frustration. It is tempting to return the same energy, to defend ourselves with equal force. But if instead we choose to remain calm, to listen, and to respond with empathy, we are exercising a power far greater than anger. We are choosing to rise above the immediate moment and see the bigger picture. Kindness is strength because it stands firm in a world that constantly pushes us to be harder. Society often rewards the loud, the aggressive, the ruthless. Yet history remembers those who showed mercy, compassion, and humanity. Strength is not about overpowering others. It is about uplifting them. It is about choosing to do what is right, not what is easy. True strength is tested when we are wronged. Anyone can be kind when life is smooth, when people treat us well, when everything is in our favor. But when someone insults us, betrays us, or mistreats us, choosing kindness in that moment is an act of profound inner strength. It means we refuse to let bitterness dictate our actions. It means we value our character more than our pride. Kindness is also strength because it builds bridges where cruelty builds walls. A kind word can turn an enemy into a friend, or at the very least, soften their heart. The person who extends kindness in the face of hostility is not weak. They are powerful because they hold the ability to transform the atmosphere around them. It takes resilience, courage, and deep inner conviction to remain kind when cruelty surrounds us. That is not weakness. It is the very definition of strength. So often, people underestimate the value of small acts, thinking that only grand gestures or major sacrifices truly matter. But life is built on the little things, and in the quiet moments where kindness is shown, hearts are often touched the most. A simple smile can change the course of someone's day. Holding a door, offering a word of encouragement, or even just listening with genuine attention can bring relief to a person carrying heavy burdens. These acts may seem small to the one giving them, but to the one receiving them, they can mean everything. Imagine a person feeling invisible, walking through life unnoticed and unheard. Then someone acknowledges them with a kind word, a gentle nod, or a warm greeting. Suddenly that person feels seen. They feel valued. That moment, though fleeting, can shift how they carry themselves for the rest of the day. Kindness works this way. It plants seeds of hope and dignity in places where darkness and doubt have taken root. It is also important to remember that we rarely know the battles others are fighting. A cashier who will be struggling with personal hardships. Stranger on the bus may be dealing with grief or loneliness. To us, offering a smile or showing patience might feel insignificant, but for them, could be a reminder that goodness still exists. Small acts of kindness carry invisible weight, lifting people in ways we may never fully understand. These gestures also ripple outward. When we are treated with kindness, we are more likely to extend it to someone else. A small act can spark a chain reaction, passing from one person to another until it reaches places we could never imagine. Simple act of patience with one person can soften their heart and influence how they treat someone else, creating a circle of compassion that keeps on growing. What makes small acts powerful is their accessibility. Not everyone can donate millions to charity or change the world through legislation, but everyone can smile, everyone can listen, everyone can encourage. The world doesn't need endless speeches about kindness. It needs ordinary people practicing it in everyday ways. Those small moments repeated over time weave together to form the fabric of a kinder, gentler society. They may not make the headlines, they make the world a better place. One small act at a time. Kindness has a remarkable quality: it spreads. One kind act rarely ends with the person who receives it. More often it inspires them to extend that same kindness to someone else, creating a ripple effect that reaches further than we can ever see. A gentle word to a struggling friend might encourage them to be patient with their child. A stranger's generosity might move someone to help a coworker. These acts travel silently, connecting lives in ways we do not always witness, but the impact is very real. What makes kindness contagious is its ability to awaken something within us. When we see someone acting with compassion, it reminds us of the goodness we all have inside, stirs us, reminding us that we too have the power to make a difference. A single example can shift an entire atmosphere. Think of a workplace where one person chooses patience over irritation. Soon others begin to respond in kind, and slowly the tone of the whole room changes. That is the quiet power of kindness. It multiplies when it is shared. In times of division or conflict, kindness becomes even more influential. A community torn apart by anger can begin to heal when even one person chooses to act with generosity. Their actions set a new standard, showing that there is another way to respond, one rooted not in bitterness but in understanding. That choice encourages others to follow, and gradually, what was once a culture of hostility begins to transform into one of respect and care. Kindness also breaks down barriers between people. It crosses boundaries of language, culture, and belief. A smile or a helping hand is understood everywhere. It unites us on the most human level, reminding us that despite our differences, we all long to be treated with dignity and compassion. Once someone experiences that, they naturally want to pass it on, ensuring that the cycle continues. The beauty of this ripple effect is that we never truly know how far it will go. A single kind gesture today might inspire dozens of others tomorrow. It might travel through families, neighborhoods, even across countries, reaching lives we will never meet. In this way, kindness becomes more than a single act. It becomes a movement, one that grows stronger with every person who chooses to carry it forward. Cruelty often presents itself as powerful, loud, and unshakable. It dominates headlines, fills conversations, can make us feel as though the world is covered in darkness. Yet, no matter how strong cruelty appears, it can never truly defeat kindness. Kindness carries a quiet, enduring strength that outlasts cruelty's temporary noise. While cruelty may win attention for a moment, kindness wins hearts for a lifetime. It leaves marks not of pain, but of healing, and those marks endure long after cruelty has faded away. When people choose kindness, they prove that cruelty does not get the final word. Think of the times when someone extended compassion in the middle of hostility. Instead of responding to hate with hate, they met it with grace. That moment becomes unforgettable because it disrupts the cycle of cruelty. Kindness disarms anger, softens resentment, and changes the direction of interactions that would otherwise spiral into bitterness. Cruelty thrives on continuation, but kindness interrupts it, breaking its momentum. Another reason cruelty cannot defeat kindness is that kindness builds while cruelty destroys. Cruelty tears people down, isolates them, and leaves wounds. Kindness, On the other hand, creates bonds, restores hope, and heals what was broken. Over time, what was built with kindness grows stronger than anything cruelty tries to dismantle. Cruelty may gain short-term victories, but it lacks the ability to create anything lasting. Only kindness can leave behind legacies that endure across generations. Kindness also endures because it is rooted in choice, not reaction. Cruelty often comes from impulses, anger, fear, or insecurity. Kindness, however, is deliberate. It is the decision to act with compassion, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. This conscious choice gives kindness its resilience. It is not dependent on the behavior of others, but on the values we hold within ourselves. That is why kindness continues to rise, no matter how much cruelty surrounds it. Above all, kindness appeals to the deepest parts of the human heart. People may be swayed by cruelty in moments of weakness, but they are transformed by kindness. It lingers in memory, shapes character, and inspires others to keep it alive. Cruelty may seem strong, but it is fleeting. Kindness, once given, continues to live on, in stories, in hearts, and in the lives it touches. For that reason, cruelty can never truly overcome it. Kindness is more than a gift we offer to others. It is also a way of protecting and preserving our own humanity. In a world that often encourages us to be cold, distant, or self-centered, choosing kindness allows us to remain connected to what truly matters. When we act with compassion, we are not just helping another person. We are also affirming the values that make us human. Every time we extend understanding, patience, or forgiveness, we strengthen the parts of ourselves that cruelty cannot touch. Life will always test us with moments of anger, betrayal, and disappointment. It is in those moments that our humanity is most at risk of being eroded. Bitterness can harden the heart, and resentment can close it off completely. When we decide to respond with kindness, we are choosing not to let those experiences define us. We may not control how others treat us, but we can always control how we respond. In choosing kindness, we protect our inner peace and keep our hearts open, even in the face of pain. Kindness also deepens our sense of connection with the world around us. To be human is to live in relationship with others, and relationships thrive on empathy. By caring for others, we nurture bonds that make life meaningful. We remind ourselves that every person we meet is carrying their own story, their own struggles, and their own hopes. When we show kindness, we affirm that their life matters, and doing so, we also affirm that our own life has purpose beyond ourselves. There is also a quiet dignity in kindness. It reminds us that strength does not lie in how much power we can exert over others, but in how much compassion we can extend to them. This kind of strength leaves us with no regrets, because we know that we acted in alignment with our best selves. Cruelty might bring temporary satisfaction, but it often leaves behind guilt and emptiness. Kindness, on the other hand, leaves us whole, reminding us that we stayed true to who we are. Ultimately, kindness preserves the light within us. It keeps us from becoming reflections of the cruelty we encounter. It ensures that, no matter what challenges we face, we hold on to the part of ourselves that believes in goodness, in love, and in the dignity of every human being. And so, let us remember that in a world that can often be harsh, it is kindness that gives life its beauty and meaning. Thank you for listening, and may you carry kindness with you wherever you go.